Sharing a purpose and its fulfillment can lead to great achievements. The Spanish, English and Friuli experts who met in Sardinia for a 3-day tour focusing on fishing and tourism are well aware of this. The summoning they responded to was promoted by the Gruppo Azione Costiera Sardegna Orientale, operating along the coastal area that covers the Sardinian regions Sarabus, Ogliastra, Barbagia and Baronia. A total of 13 municipalities and further 41 partners who work together to improve the economy tied to fishing activities, sustainable tourism, the environment and the professional figures connected to these sectors. They came here to understand better how certain activities work, especially pesca tourism and iti tourisms, and how both these activities are achieved in the territorial context in which they operate. 3 intensive days full of notions to learn, with the expectation that in the near future they will be able to apply these notions in their regions as well. After a night's sleep, the group composed of the delegations GAC, Ria de Pontevedra, Spain, FLAG, Cornwall Isles of Scilly, England, and GAC, Friuli Venezia Giulia, Italy, meet for breakfast with the local GAC director, Davide Cao, and Gianna Saba, the national president of Pescator, the partner agency that has organised this educational tour. The official greetings by our host, Fabrizio Selenu, Presidente GAC Sardegna Orientale.
Buongiorno a tutti, mi presento, sono Fabrizio Selenu, sono legale rappresentante del gruppo di azione costiera della Sardegna Orientale. Il nostro gruppo di azione costiera copre quasi tutta la costa orientale della Sardegna, è composto da 13 comuni che sono rappresentati da questi 13 pallini che sono presenti a fianco alla scritta GAC. Vi porteremo in questi 3 giorni a visitare le attività di pesca che regnano in Sardegna, quindi dalla piccola pesca artigianale con la quale si fa anche pescaturismo, alle attività di pesca che vengono fatte all'interno delle lagune. Le lagune sono di fondamentale importanza in Sardegna, noi abbiamo più di 10.000 ettari di lagune nella nostra isola e in queste lagune ci lavorano migliaia di persone. All'interno di queste lagune da 15 anni a questa parte abbiamo iniziato anche attività di iti turismo, quindi dove vengono somministrati tutti i prodotti che vengono pescati ai pescatori. Oltre alle attività di pesca, pescaturismo e turismo, vi faremo vedere alcune di queste bellezze che abbiamo in Sardegna, dalle bellezze archeologiche, ambientali, un po' di montagna anche, perché crediamo molto all'integrazione tra il mare e la montagna naturalmente. Siamo molto contenti perché stiamo iniziando con voi un percorso che ci verrà assieme ad affrontare tutta una serie di tematiche che sono di importanza comune, sia in Sardegna, in Friuli, in Spagna, in Inghilterra, un pochino in tutta Europa. E speriamo insomma che sia solo l'inizio di un lungo percorso. Grazie.
The first stage starts from Villa Sumios, and to be exact, from the tourist port, a gem of modernity set in an evocative cape. It hosts about 750 berths and is just a few kilometres from the centre of town. The enthralling pescatourism experience on the boats of the Cooperativa Sampei Mare Blu is about to start. Before boarding, Fabrizio Azzori, director of the protected marine area of Capo Carbonara, illustrates the peculiarities of the coastal area. Right from this first approach, the educational tour guests start to understand how the fishing activities of the regulations safeguarding them are extremely different to those of the areas of origin. The groups get on board and thus starts their actual 3-day pescatourism activity. The Cooperativa Sampei crew is captivating. They explain things to minimum detail, also because they have 20 years' experience in hosting tourists on their boats. After pulling in the nets and before the catch is cooked and offered to the guests, there's time to discuss other fundamental issues that arouse our guests' curiosity. They discuss the hygiene sanitary authorisations required to serve meals on board, or the adequate safety terms for boarding tourists. The Spanish, the English and the Friulani listen carefully. Certain things are still inconceivable to their reality, but they are ready and willing to take home the solutions adopted by the Sardinian Autonomous Region. After lunch, we head towards Muravera, going from a sea fishing reality to a lagoon experience. To be precise, the appointment leads us to Ferragi, to the installation run by the homonymous cooperative. Giampiero Cuccu is the manager of the structure that provides work for 10 partners and just as many employees. He explains to the guests that the production area covers 80 hectares, of which 8 are dedicated to semi-intensive farming. He guides us through the catching area, underlining that fishing is performed daily, both in the lagoon and at sea. Pride and joy of the installation is the iti-tourism that has been running for 2 years. In the 2015 tourist season, they have hosted 8,000 guests. Our guests are offered a fabulous dinner, the main product being exactly that catch, treated and prepared just a few metres from our tables. Thus ends the first of our 3-day educational. After spending the night in Tortolì, the morning of the second day starts with a brief tour to show the wonders of this coastal area, setting of many historical sites and monuments. After admiring the evocative beach chair from above, we proceed to visiting the nearby neuralgic site Orientale su Monti. Sea and inland need to meet in perfect harmony, and the GAC Sardegna Orientale operators pay serious attention in defending this combination, which carries great hopes for the new forms of enterprises tied to the fishing and tourist production. For this purpose, specifically studied itineraries have been developed. They go from the various locations where fishermen have their ancestral homes and births, moving beyond to the inland through valleys, tablelands and hillsides that have in store other amazing views from the Oriental coast. We proceed to visiting the installation run by the Cooperativa Pescatori di Tortolì, where the president of GAC Sardegna Orientale, Fabrizio Selenu, who is also manager of the structure, receives our guests and explains the main procedures concerning the lagoon. He shows them the mullet botarga production process and how they extract the gonads, then passing on to the diverse phases of oyster farming in the lagoon. The unexpected activity with our Englishman Chris Ranford and the Friulano Davide De Gulin is very interesting and entertaining. They are invited to put on a fishing suit adequate for catching mullets with their bare hands. They obviously don't think twice before accepting. The scene before us offers our guests an enjoyable moment, but at the same time, for the men involved, it will remain an incredible experience, never tried before in their activity locations. Following, we have lunch that is offered and prepared by the Cooperativa Pescatori di Tortolì in an overwhelming coming and going of fine specialities of the region, which every summer are a summoning for thousands of tourists. In the evening, the participants of this educational visit and explore some famous locations of the Baonei Island, another commune embedded with coastal and inland wonders, the wild nature surrounding the Golgo Precipice, the anthropomorphic betel, the century-old oak, the Aspicinas pits are always engaging sights. On the last day of this tour, the hopes of many were finally satisfied. 5 protocols of agreement were signed, adding to the one signed by GAC Sardegna Orientale. The Pescatourism and Iti-tourism theme network becomes reality. Besides the Spanish GAC Ria de Pontevedra, the Cornwall and Scilly Islands flag, and the GAC Friuli Venezia Giulia, also GAC Corsica and GAC Lazio Nord have signed the protocol. During the first part of the workshop, the foreign and national guests made their speeches illustrating the territories in which their individual GACs operate, the fishing and pescatourism activities and the problems they have encountered with the local operators. Therefore, in the afternoon, it was possible for operators, experts and GAC representatives. The pointlessness of having diverse behaviours between national and European regions was highlighted. Instead, it is necessary to have well-defined common regulation. The European community, paradoxically, hasn't developed one yet. While waiting for this to happen, the fishing enterprises have to integrate with their territory. Pescatourism and ititourism are professional fishing activities that provide income and promote the protection of resources. Now we expect a massive action to promote this reality. Pescator and the President, Gianna Saba, over years of constant work, have developed a policy document that the new national partners will have to give to their operators to be studied. Everybody, including the European GACs, will make an agreement to adopt an identical logo that will bear the certification of a third external agency to guarantee quality and level of the services offered. The quality of this commitment is confirmed by the statements of the visitors.
Fue una experiencia muy gratificante desde el primer día. Solo llegar aquí pues tuvimos una acogida maravillosa por parte de todos los miembros del grupo del GAC. Y nuestra experiencia como del turismo pesquero a bordo también fue muy interesante, sobre todo porque en Galicia no se puede hacer esta actividad y vimos cómo aquí es posible compaginar pesca y turismo y además pues de una manera muy bonita, una experiencia que entendemos que es muy interesante porque el turista puede vivir la experiencia de la pesca a bordo del barco. Y después lo que fue la isla es muy bonita, todo el paisaje que pudimos ver, el poquito que pudimos ver en estos 3 días, pues nos encantó, sobre todo el clima, la diversidad de montaña y mar. Y las conclusiones de la jornada de hoy por la tarde, la puesta en común de los distintos países que participamos en la jornada estuvo muy interesante. Yo creo que tenemos que seguir trabajando en esa dirección y tenemos que convencer a la Unión Europea de que es posible tener una ley para todos los países igual, diversificando y teniendo en cuenta las características de cada nación, pero que sí se puede poner en común la normativa para todos los países.
Bene, l'esperienza di questi 3 giorni in Sardegna è stata molto positiva e molto simpatica. Abbiamo visto esperienze di pescaturismo e ititurismo che vengono svolte da anni e che possono essere degli esempi per noi che in Friuli abbiamo appena iniziato. Ma la cosa più interessante è stata vedere che dal Friuli alla Cornovaglia, alla Galizia, alla Sardegna ci sono certe problematiche nell'attuare il pescaturismo comuni. Siccome il pescaturismo è una cosa che la comunità europea spinge per mantenere la gente a lavorare nella pesca, il fatto che ci siano delle difficoltà comuni mi fa pensare che c'è qualche rotella che non gira bene. Ecco, io penso che il compito di incontri come questi e che sarà il compito del futuro dei nostri incontri, del nostro lavoro, sia mettere a disposizione della comunità europea l'olio per far girare bene questi ingranaggi, togliendo tutte quelle che sono le piccole difficoltà, spesso burocratiche, spesso amministrative, spesso di interpretazione dei regolamenti che vengono fatte e che impedisce il fiorire di tante aziende pescaturistiche che anche sul nostro territorio potrebbero nascere.
It's been a very good 3 days here in Sardinia. I think it was great to start straight away with pescatourism and experience it firsthand by going on the boats and seeing exactly how it's done. I guess it's the perfect way to show people, because it's evolved from Sardinia. It's been around here for 15 years, so they've tried everything, and as they explained on the boat, they've kind of learnt from themselves by how to improve and how to create the perfect experience. So it's really good to see that and understand how we can try and copy the same or add that into what we do in England. And then on the second day, it was great that we got to visit the ecotourism. It's something that I hadn't really experienced or understood properly before. So to see it and be part of it and actually get in the water and go fishing was great fun and a really good experience. And again, it's something that we can definitely transfer back to our region. We do have similar setups in England, so we could definitely learn from this experience and take it back and work with businesses and explain to them how to do it and help them set up by using the models that have been created out here. And today obviously is an important day to bring everyone together and share that knowledge from across Europe and break down the boundaries and the legislation and the policy and understand where we all come from and the different angles that we see pescatourism and ecotourism, and how we can work together to influence Europe and European law to make it easier and more accessible for businesses to set up this kind of initiative, and other flags, how flags can be the mechanism to support businesses wanting to diversify into these activities. So yeah, the 3 days were very well set out and very inspiring, and it was just a very good experience altogether. And for the future, I think it's great. We've achieved what we have in the 3 days, and everyone is very motivated, so it'll be good to now carry on the progress in our own areas, but also to keep in contact through conferences, teleconferences and online, through whatever way we can, in a regular update to share progress, because obviously we have different issues in different countries with laws and policies. So with the next funding, the next Fisheries Fund Programme, EMFF, it'll be very interesting to see when that becomes, when it goes live, what type of projects each areas develop, and obviously in the background, if we can keep working on, as a group, collectively to develop the law and allow for the businesses to sort of set up new pescatourism businesses, I think that's a really good way to go. So it's good timing, the fact we have another funding program coming in very soon. So I think in the time between now and when it starts, we have the sort of space to create and help influence the new strategies for flags and how they can support businesses starting up. So yeah, it's good. There's a lot of potential, and it's great that we're a part of it.
Innanzitutto abbiamo raggiunto l'obiettivo. Abbiamo costruito un partenariato, quindi da oggi inizia un percorso. Sardegna, Corsica, Friuli Venezia Giulia, Spagna e Cornovaglia spingeranno tutti quanti in un'unica direzione: normare le attività legate al mondo della pesca. Il partenariato è molto forte, deciso e determinato. Dal punto di vista umano invece sono stati 4 giorni molto belli. Abbiamo conosciuto le persone squisite e torneremo a trovare nei loro territori. Siamo già stati in Cornovaglia, ma torneremo sicuramente in Galizia, perché abbiamo conosciuto le persone veramente che credono al mondo della pesca e credono nell'asse 4 e in Farnet. In Friuli Venezia Giulia, e andremo anche a trovare i nostri colleghi della Corsica. Progetto ambizioso, ma siamo ottimisti, ci crediamo e siamo sicuri anche di raggiungere il risultato.